to Stylish Naija YouTube channel. I want to say thank you to all of my subscribers. I really appreciate you guys a whole lot for subscribing to my YouTube channel. I appreciate a whole lot. Yeah, if you're new to my channel, if this is the first time of you coming across Stylish Naija YouTube channel, I would appreciate if you will hit on the subscribe button. Please just hit on the subscribe button. It actually takes nothing to subscribe. Just subscribe to give my channel support. So that's just on your own part. So I would appreciate it really if you would do that. Okay, and then hit on the bell on the side to get an update whenever I upload a new video. You are just going to see it and you'll be the first to see it once I upload a new video. Okay guys, so today I'm going to be showing you how to actually cut and sew a very simple basic, let me use it, basic, simple, both of them are almost like the same word, basic and simple, off shoulder sleeve. That's what I'm going to show you how to cut and sew today. It is really simple and easy, and at times some people, they actually don't know how to go about the calculation. It's not difficult, and this sleeve is like, you can use it so much as in this sleeve you can actually use it the way it is. And then most times when we create ruffles for dresses, when we actually create ruffles for dresses or cape, this sleeve, you are going to have to do this off shoulder sleeve first, and then before you are able to create out a cape for an off shoulder, or before you'll be able to create out ruffles for your off shoulder and sleeve. That's ruffles that covers the sleeve. So it is like basic. So you need to actually know how to do this. So I'm talking so much because it is like you must know how to do this in order for you to be able to create out other pieces. So that's what we are going to be doing today. It's really simple and fast and quick. I'm going to be showing you how to do the calculation for it. So if you okay, before I continue, I normally run online and classes on WhatsApp and on Telegram every month. So if you're interested in registering for my online classes, okay, I will appreciate if you will send me a message on WhatsApp. Let's just leave it that way. If you will send me a message on WhatsApp, if you want to actually register for my class, send me a message, and then I'm going to give you the details for registration. So I have about 4 classes ongoing. I have the beginners class, I have the intermediate class, and then I have a corset class, and then a ready to wear class. The ready to wear class is like really lit. It's actually a new class, so that's why I'm just talking about it so much. I actually launched it last month, where I'm going to teach you how to perfectly finish your ready to wear pieces. So you might look at it and like, man, this thing, I can do it now. But the truth of the matter is, if you don't finish your pieces properly, nobody will buy. Even when someone buys the first time, they would not come back again to buy. So you need to know how to finish them properly, so you'll be able to meet any standard. It will be able to meet compete rather with other pieces out there in the world. So that's what I'm going to be teaching you in that class. So, and then our corset classes, men, you would see most of our students, what they are turning out. These are people that have never really tried out corset before in their lives, and then they register for the class, and before you know it, they are making a beautiful corset for themselves. And then the intermediate class, I don't even want to talk about it. It is so lit, as in when you see the dresses. So just send me a message on WhatsApp. Okay, let's continue. I've talked a lot, seriously. Let's continue. So for the off shoulder sleeve, so this is like my basic off shoulder and top. So you see the armhole, and then you see and the neckline. So I'm going to just do some explanations for you. For if you want to actually measure out your off shoulder, you are going to measure around your chest line like this. Okay, so I'm just going to raise my camera and then measure myself for you to see. So if you want to measure for your off shoulder, this is what you will do. You take your tape like this across your round top part of your shoulder, and then you place it like this. So you measure it as tight as possible, and then you would get out your measurement for your off shoulder. So what I actually have here, I have about 43 inches. So it is free. I have about 43 inches. That's what I'm going to do. So you need this measurement. So let's just continue. Okay, so guys, we actually got 43. So I'm going to show you how to actually measure this out, how to achieve this in 2 ways. The first way, I'm going to do the calculation, but I'm going to use the other method just to make it simple for those of you that like a simple way to get to the finish line. Yeah. So for this, what you are going to do after stitching your dress together, after coupling your dress, here is what you are going to do. You will measure the top part, that's the neckline. So this is the armhole. You would measure this part from this point. You measure the front. So what I have here is 13 inches, and then you will measure the back also. I have 13 inches. So you are going to write down 13 plus 13, that's 26. You are going to write the 26 down, and then what you are going to do now, you are going to minus 26. This 26, you are going to minus it from that round and shoulder that you actually measured. You are going to minus it out. So for this, when I minus out from my 43 inches, I'm going to have about 17 inches. So that's what you are now going to do. So after minusing it, 43 minus 26, you have about 17 inches. That 17 inches, you are going to divide it into 2. So when you divide it into 2, you are going to have about 8.5. So this is how much width you are going to cut out for your off shoulder sleeve. So this is like one way of knowing how much sleeve you are going to cut out. That's the width of the sleeve. And then the next measurement is you are going to use the next method is that you are going to use your round armhole measurement to do this. So for this, the round armhole is actually 9 inches. That's your round armhole. That's from what I mean by round armhole. You're just going to take your tape from this point and then measure up to this point like this. You place the tape here on the armpit part, and then you measure from here to here. So what you have, that's what we are going to be working with. And mine from this point to this point is actually 9 inches. So when you are making use of this particular measurement, what you will do, I normally reduce it by half an inch. You understand? So I'm normally drop by half an inch, so to enable it fit properly. Okay, the next thing we're going to do, we're going to measure out the length of the sleeve. That's the height. So for the height that I actually want about 4 inches. So I'm going to make it 4.5 because to enable me blend the corners properly, I'm going to make it 4.5. You can even, okay, let's make it 5 inches because of the stitching. So because I'm going to stitch and turn, so I will make this part 5 inches, so I'll be able to blend it properly. So I have 5 inches now. And then the width of the sleeve, that's the round sleeve, is actually, we actually measured out 9 inches. So like I said, you drop it by half an inch if you are not doing the calculation one. The calculation one actually gave us 8.5. So now the one that we measured freehand is actually 9 inches. So you drop by half an inch, so it comes back to the 8.5. So from that 8.5, when that 8.5 is when you divide it into 2, you are going to have 4¼ of an inch. So this is the 4¼ of an inch. But what I'm going to do, because of all the stitching and turning and everything, I'm going to take it as much as 5 inches. So at the end of the day, after stitching and trimming, I'll be able to trim it, and then it's going to be 4.5, and then I'll use half of an inch to stitch it, and then I'll still have my 4¼ So that's the essence. So this is my 5 inches too. So I'm doing 5 by 5. So I'm just going to mark this like this straight, and then here's where we are actually stopping. So the next thing I'm going to do from this point now, I'm going to come down by half of an inch. So because I want to blend the sleeve, I don't want it to be straight, you understand? So I'll come down by half of an inch, and then from this part also I'm going to come this way. Also I'm going to mark half of an inch also on this side. So okay, let's just rule with a straight ruler so you see it properly. So I'm going to come up this way also by half of an inch, and then here half of an inch. So from this point like this now, I'm just going to slant it into this point. So you know that this width, I actually want, at the end of the day, I want about 4 inches. So what I'm going to do now, this part now, I'm just going to use about tiny of a quarter of an inch. And then I'll mark about tiny of a quarter of an inch also, just to get a perfect slant. That's just the reason. So I'll just slant it like this, and then this one also I would slant to this point like this. Okay, so you see we are done. That's just like the shape of the sleeve. So I'll cut it out. So I'm so sorry if I'm so fast. So you double check your measurement. So you see what I have. So I have about 4.5. So after stitching, it's going to come to 4 inches. So that's just like the essence. So what I'm going to do now, so I'm just trying to double check. So I still have my 5 inches from this point. And what I actually want at the end of the day is 4.5 inches. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to take the dress like this. So you can do this in 2 ways. You can just decide to slant it, or better still, you can just take the armhole of the dress if you want it perfect. You can take the armhole of the dress that you are going to stitch, that you're going to stitch it on, and then you are going to come to that part. Remember that extra inch half part, and then you are going to do this. You are going to place it like this, because this is actually how the sleeve is going to look like. So you see the beauty of it, and then you are going to mark. You're just going to create the slant like this. You will create the slant. So you see it now. So at the end of the day, I'll create the slant, and then you double check your measurement. So you see it is perfect now. So what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to cut this off. So when I place this on my dress, when I'm after stitching, it's going to be perfect. It's not going to have any excess, you understand? It's not going to have any excess. So it's just going to be like this. So you see the beauty of it already. So you see it's going to be just, you see it's going to be perfect. So the next thing, I'm going to transfer this on the fabric. So I'm going to cut out 4 pieces of this, and then I'm going to stitch it. So you see how it is going, how it is looking. So you are going to take the part that is the top part. You can just give it a notch, and then I'm going to sew around like this, and then I will turn and then come back and show you how to fix this. Okay, so you see what we have. So I have 4 pieces. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to take this, and then I'm going to stitch round. So I'm using this as the interfacing. I'm using the same fabric. I'm just going to go and stitch and turn. But if you don't want to use the same fabric, you can decide to use your lining to cover, to cut out your lining just the same way, and then stitch, but leave the edges. So that's what we're going to use to fix. Okay guys, so you see I've finished stitching. So you see how beautiful our sleeve is looking. So the next thing is just for you now. You remember what we actually have here now is 4.5, and what we need is 4/4. So the remaining ½ inch, that's the remaining 1/4 of an inch, that's this 1/4 of an inch, that's what we are going to use to stitch the sleeve together. So you're just going to take it like this, and then you stitch on this part. So in stitching, it's really simple. So you're just going to stitch like this. So in stitching it, you're just going to turn it like this. This is the top part. This is actually the top part. And then you are going to start stitching from this point like this. You're going to hold it, and then you stitch this point, and then stitch the other part also. So before you do that, for the off shoulder sleeve, you can after stitching, you are just going to pipe the armhole with your bias binding. So I'm just going to go and do that now, and then show you the final look of this off shoulder sleeve. Okay guys, so you could see this is the final look of our dress. So you see the sleeve, you see how perfect it is looking. This off shoulder sleeve, it is just so perfect and so cute. So thank you so much guys. If you actually find this video illustration helpful, I would appreciate if you hit on the subscribe button. That's for those that have not subscribed, and then hit on the like button to let me know you appreciate what I did. So thank you so much. I just love this thing. It's just so perfect. Thank you so much. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.